Bowl.
Yeah, so during the Super Bowl, no, before the game started, they were doing the national anthem and the Black National Anthem. And, I didn't see it as a big deal until after the game, people started to comment on, hey, we didn't, well, not even people started to comment mainly. I just saw video clips of people not standing up for the Black National Anthem, mainly white people. Because they're like, hey, this supports segregation. I'm not black, so I shouldn't have to stand for this national anthem. So comments started to rise like, hey, are we going backwards by having a Black National Anthem? Saying like, are we, is segregation coming back? Because we got one group of people who doesn't feel represented, and we have another group of people who, I don't know, feel like they got their own national anthem and, feeling represented. So, like, how should this be looked at in the future? What do you think?
That's an interesting one. So, given that black people are still financially and mentally enslaved, I think the Black National Anthem should still be recited, or I don't have a problem with that. If this was like a fair country where America's kind of that, America is a bunch of immigrants type of deal. Like, you can be from any other part of the world and come to America and become an American, right? So if we're riding off that idea, then sure, it should just be one national anthem. However, that's not the case.
Yeah.
So I do think we should have the Black National Anthem, especially with what happened with Colin Kaepernick with the whole kneeing and Black Lives Matter situation. It definitely should be played. The NFL is predominantly black people. So What is the problem?
I don't understand. The thing about this country I really don't understand, and we're all different races, all different cultures that live in America, right? Everybody represents something. What is wrong being proud of my culture and, my skin color? What's wrong with me being proud of that and just me wanting to voice that? While I'm not trying to, create segregation. I'm just like, hey, I'm black and I'm proud. Mm-hmm. But I'm also willing to come together with people from different cultures. We could still stand together, and I love, my fellow neighbor. Why can't we just do both? Like, I don't understand, like, what's up? And it reminds me of some childish shit. Like, they got their own national anthem. You know what I'm saying? Be done with them. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it just sounds really childish. Like, it's something that's not yours. It shouldn't be represented at all. It's like, who the fuck cares? Like, black people should be able to have a national anthem and not be criticized for it. And at the same time, that doesn't mean we're racist. It doesn't mean we're trying to create segregation. It's just us being proud of who we are. And at the same time, we could still, after that, we could still come together and be one nation.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't understand the big deal about it.
Yeah, it's... And I found it to be disrespectful for, like, people to be sitting down to say, I'm not black, so I don't have to stand up for it. This is America. This country wouldn't be what it is without black people to begin with. So it's like, if you were really, truly... what they say, I don't see color and I don't see this, then you should have stood up and supported other black, people. Like, y'all quick to stand for Ukraine.
Right.
Y'all quick to stand for Israel. Y'all quick to stand for Taiwan. But when it's time to stand for black people, y'all don't want to do that. Y'all quick to jump You know, and I guess let's finish this topic because now I got another topic that I want to talk about. Because this is something that really pissed me off. But we'll continue. Listen, I feel like it's really messed up because most of the people that perform at the Super Bowl has been black. The athletes are black, but yet all the owners and coaches are predominantly white.
Right.
We're getting more and more black QBs, which is a good thing.
Yeah, even that's a bro. Have you seen how they've been disrespecting Cam Newton lately?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, Lamar Jackson, 2-time NFL MVP. Still, people are saying, "Oh, he's a running back." Like just being plain disrespected. But go on.
Disrespect. But yeah, you know, it's we gotta get over that shit. You know, we gotta get over that shit, man. Like, come on now.
Yeah, but like just to go to NFL a bit. You know, I can understand when people say like, "Hey, they don't like when they say like, oh, it's the first black coach or it's the first black this is black that." They're like, "Hey, we shouldn't be seeing that anymore. We should be moved past that." In certain instances, I can agree with. It's like, all right, you don't have to point out the first black person for this and that. Even though, yeah, I don't know. Certain instances I could agree with. I can't think off the top of my head, but like, I remember in the NFL when I'm seeing black quarterbacks succeed, but I'm generally proud of that. And I always want that to be pointed out, but then I see people in the comments, why are we still talking about this? Why is color still a thing? And you know the thing, like, I'm not a huge fan of Skip Bayless, but I remember when he was on, I feel like this was Undisputed or like his later days on First Take, but he said he had a GM told him that, hey, they never picked black quarterbacks because black quarterbacks and black centers were looked at as people who just couldn't do the job, that we're not smart enough. Mm-hmm. Saying we were not smart enough to handle an offense, run an NFL offense, and to make calls. And that's what the center and quarterback do. Centers, you know, for anybody who doesn't know football, centers, they don't want to snap the ball to the quarterback, and they don't want to make adjustments to the offensive line and make calls out to the offensive line. You need to be quick. You need to be smart to be able to do that. Black people back in the day weren't looked at as smart. And weren't looked at as, you know, smart to run the quarterback position. So now when we have people like Lamar Jackson, 2-time NFL MVP, you know, you got Patrick Mahomes. He's a black quarterback. Jalen Hurts, Cam Newton, who was great. Mm-hmm. You got Michael Vick. You got all these black quarterbacks who are widely successful. You know what I'm saying? Showing the world like, hey, Deshaun Watson, black people can, you know, play this position. And then you still got people who want to disrespect them, like, hey, they're running backs. It's like, well, excuse me for black people being more athletic than white people. Like, shit, like Lamar Jackson's a dual threat quarterback. Cam Newton was a dual threat quarterback. Michael Vick was dual threat. Like, what's wrong with them using their legs? Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. Like, it kind of shows me that black people still have a lot of shit to, like, overcome still. Mm-hmm. Not really trying to play the victim mindset, but just like, you know, you can still see that we still got some haters.
Yeah, no, we still got some haters, and we're always gonna have haters. But you know, when you look at the masses of the U.S., a lot of the other races don't like us. So I understand, having to put the title the first black this or a black this. You know, until we reach a point where we're like not looking for validation for the work that we do, then I think that will stop. Because right now, everything that we do, we need to have that hashtag black on it, or the black this, or the first black that. Like, it's not like you look at Mahomes. Oh, he's a quarterback. You know, boom, you search him up. Oh, he's black. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't, unless it's a thing where it's supposed to motivate kids. But I feel like we're at this point. Black kids don't need to be motivated by seeing a black football player. Mm-hmm. Like, we already dominate the fucking sport.
Right.
So it's like, it's obvious. NBA, we dominate the sport. You don't want to hear. You don't hear Michael Jordan, the first black basketball player to have 6 rings on one team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's none of the first. Like, we expect that. You know. So if it's nothing like that big, you know, it shouldn't be like really said.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, just come to show that black people still. I mean, man, I always say we got haters, and it is what it is. You know, you're gonna have some people who just whine and complain about bullshit because they're not invited to the cookout. You know what I'm saying? Like they just
that other stupid shit.